Hey, good morning. Monday morning. Just more notes from the crazy guy on the other side of the fence. So, my thing is measurements, I suppose. I understand how we do them pretty well. What they mean is another good question. Because by themselves, it's just a number, right? When you measure something. So why the hell am I talking about this? What does it matter? I joke with wanting to open a church. The Church of Metrology, which is the measurement sciences. Because I don't see any way to get funding to do the right thing. This shouldn't be necessary. This should be our public education system. This should be a part of it. When you add 1 + 1 up to 2, you're learning how to balance your bank account or manage the money in your wallet. So, there's some simple stuff going on here that you just take for granted because 1 + 1 = 2, right? The earth is round. The planet is old. It took us a long time to get here. These are things that, it's just facts of life, right? So once you get past that, how do you understand where we are? The internet we're using now, this is the most measured resource on the planet. There's more computing power put to studying the internet than there is on the internet. What? Wait. Because the goal is to sell you something. The goal is wherever that cell phone travels with you or whatever device it is, they want to put an ad in front of you for the next store on the sidewalk. They want to tease you with a sale 2 blocks away. And then Uncle Sam wants to be able to know where you are, which is IPv6, if anyone wants to talk about that. We can open up some technical manuals, eh? I haven't opened them. Well, I have, a little bit. So people are opening the wrong book to read. A whole lot. They're pointing inside this book and not to where to go after the book. Philosophy is a good place to go. But that's still that book. That's the basis of it. This is applied life. How life really works in your day-to-day motions. There's this thing called supply chain logistics, right? You've heard of supply chains. Go on the outskirts into suburbia around your cities, and there's massive warehouse facilities. Those warehouses fill the 7-Elevens up and keep the 7-Eleven full. They keep the shelves stocked for stores across the planet. This is supply chain logistics. You buy 1 million things and you distribute it to 1,000 places, and you plan these things long term, and you measure the heck out of it. So yeah, this gets boring talking about measurements, but the application. So anyway, in my church, what we're going to have is an array of instruments on the wall. And we're going to speak to how we measure things. And people could take these home and see what the world around them could tell them. And what the congregation could learn from it. So I hate to put these in those terms. But I don't see how to get people into today and understand how big today is and important it is, and how much potential there is for every child to participate in today. And you don't hear that much. You just don't hear that much. Why this is people are trying to cling on to ideas as best they can. And it's in their heart they're clinging. And that is all admirable, but the people that put them there are not admirable. They're not heroes. That word hero is abused. So, the Church of Measurements. What would you have in there? What type of instruments would the congregation want to talk about? audio meters for sound tests. How noisy is your neighborhood? Could you make a noisy neighborhood map so that you could take it to your whoever's and say, my neighborhood's noisy? Or how about a smelly neighborhood map? So you could take it somewhere and say, my neighborhood is smelly. Could you help us out here? How about a ppm map for soot and particles in the air? So that people could... Now, see, out in rural America, you don't worry about these things. Because the tractor trailers bringing your stuff to our stuff aren't as concentrated out there. So 100 tractor trailers from rural America bringing goods into the city is 100 tractor trailers in the city, and you only saw one out in rural America. This is how big the world is, and how well understood it is, and how well mapped out it is, and how well planned it is behind all this seemingly random things that happen every day in our lives. It's a different aspect of your life. When you go here, it can get serious, because all of a sudden you can question every decision you make and not make any decisions. Well, what that means is you're making a decision. You own that. I am where I am because I put myself here. I do buy a lottery ticket about once every quarter, just in case. So you make decisions all your life, and you're responsible for them. Now, you might have been driven to that decision by shitty choices, because that's how life happens. So what else could we measure? Volatile organic compounds. Those are pretty specialty meters. And imagine to have a wall full of these things and an information set that you could look at, the analysis tools to be able to see this. But what I'm speaking to was promised with nuclear energy. That was the promise. That was kind of the awe of nuclear. And it is scary as shit, but it was a whole new world of energy that we were opening up. So for the younger folks listening, this is just kind of history. This is 60 years. My nuclear power plant was Pilgrim Nuclear. You can go through the history of that being built. That is one of the site licensing agreements that I read of 3 plants in the U.S. in totally different states. And inside of that commissioning document was a commitment to the communities surrounding, to the larger us, of a view into these sciences that were going to make our future. And somehow that just disappeared. The Jetsons went away, I suppose. I don't know what the excuse is. And in our short attention span, 128 character world, short conversations, quips, memes are more the tone for the day. But then to sit and listen to somebody like this takes some patience, takes some understanding of why the conversation's even going. So, Church of Metrology, nah, that don't work. See, the church thing doesn't, the church is poking somebody's eye by putting church there. But that is the easiest way to get financing, to become tax-free, and to begin to play with money that you need to do with these things. And this is what a lot of these faiths are doing. But so many people in faith are doing good. This is not going to be easy. Bringing the rest of reality that's kind of been masked, been polluted in our society, the 40 years of the most advanced engineering and science research that's been going on, that's getting us off of this planet, that might allow us to expand if we can just get get past the dome, that friggin' bubble that somebody's created for a specific set of people that needs to be popped. So I like the church idea. I would almost like doing a Church of Satan thing, since they officially became a tax-exempt organization. I think metrology is one of the foundations of Satan, one of the piers that we stand on. And these words are funny things, because using that word triggers people. But measurements have meaning. We can understand if we can all speak the same language, which is more science than this is a common understanding of how old the planet is, folks. Grow old with us. You can't avoid it. But us old hippies, or I'm a hippie wannabe. Honestly, I never was a hippie. I'm a hippie wannabe. Because some of what was in those lessons was of value, not all of it. Not all of it. So this has been a reality moment with the aging metrologist. Trying to make a point about where we are on this planet together. So from Portland, Oregon, salute to my fellow service friends, to my working stiff friends, the blue collars, the white collars, the gray collars, the gray beards. We outnumber them.